Hi there, Simon from simonwoods.com. This is my refreshing Spring Reds bit part 2. I don't know if you saw the first one, but it was a bit of a mishmash and different grapes, different countries, 5 wines, 4 countries. Here we're a little bit more coherent. We have got 3 countries, but it's all the same grape variety, Pinot Noir. So let's just set into them. First wine we have got is from southern France. It is Domaine Clovaillon, and it's their 2011 Pays d'Oc. And I've had wines from these people before, and you think of the Languedoc as being maybe a bit too warm for Pinot Noir. Not when you try these guys' wines. Maybe setting it up for a fall here, but anyway, I'll give it a whirl. Well, it smells like Pinot. It's not at all the style of wine you think of as coming from southern France. But what I remember about it, it's one of those north-facing slopes, quite high up, and feels here like it's going to be quite tender. So there's a juiciness, and it feels like the fruit is lovely and ripe. There's a gentle raspberry, strawberry, maybe a little bit of spiciness in there too. But it doesn't feel like anyone's forced it. And I look at the colour, and it's not too deep in colour. It feels like someone has had a gentle hand here, and which augurs well. Let's taste it. Oh, it's delicious. Lovely, juicy, rounded. It's not the most complex of wine, but what it is, it's satisfying. It's got this core of flavour. None of it stewed, none of it overripe, none of it on that stalky side that sort of implies that someone's tried to pick it early in terms of to try and get some freshness in there. Yes, I mean, as with the previous video, these have just come out of a reasonably cool storage area, and it's tasting extremely nice at that temperature. But I've got a strong feeling that as it warms up, it's going to uncurl, and even more characters are going to come out. But I do like it. Nice wine. Wine number 2. We are, I think for the next 2, we're in Chile. So this one is Pacifico Sur Reserva from the Curico Valley, 2011. I think they're both 2011. Let's give it a whirl. A little more stewed here. I get also some of that Chilean, I don't know why Chilean wines have so much reduction, but I get that character here, as if someone has been a little bit too safe with it and protected it from oxygen. In the process, the wine is almost like closed in on itself, and it may be that given a time it will blossom, but a bit of spice, a bit of mint in there, almost some minty eucalyptus, and it feels like there's quite ripe, juicy, maybe slightly overripe fruit. So slightly overripe, slightly stewed. Have my reservations about it, but I'll keep swirling it for a bit longer and see if it comes out of its shell. It's a bigger wine than the Clovaillon, but it hasn't got the subtlety. And it feels like, as I say, it feels like the person who's been making it wants to just control it that little bit too much, rather than let the fruit be. Curico, I'm not sure which bit of Curico it comes from, but there's cool bits of Curico and there's warm bits, so it's hard to generalise about it. But here it feels like the grapes got a little bit too ripe. There's just an edge of the jamminess in there. This slight minty eucalypt that it's a character, and people say, oh, it's adding complexity. No, it's a character that for me doesn't quite fit in. It's not a success. You know, like if you add the wrong herb to certain dishes, they take over and they clash rather than complement. Okay, let's try wine number 3. So still in Chile, and Pinot Noir 2011, but this one is Tabali Reserva Especial from the Limeri Valley, which is one of the most northerly bits of vineyard regions of Chile, but because it's pretty close to the sea, it can get cool here. Anyway, let's try it. And this is more successful. It's got the allure. I don't know if you're a Miranda fan, but if you're not, I'll shut up. But it's got the allure that Pinot Noir needs to have. Soft, gentle berry, nothing overripe, nothing that feels like it's been forced. Feels like the winemaker here has more of a handle on the grape variety, and rather than just treating it as any old grape, has let it be, and in the process it's made for juicier, friendlier style, and it smells like it's going to be quite a step up. Yeah, there's that juicy freshness here. It feels effortlessly lovely, yummy and drinkable. It says on the back 10 months in oak, but you're not really noticing any of that, apart from the fact that it has softened nicely and it's had any gawky edges rounded out. And the previous one had those, what I call that reduced character. Here it feels like that time in oak has rounded out some of those edges, and people haven't been afraid to do a little bit of racking of the wine, putting it from one barrel into the other, in order to get a little bit of air in there. It's soft, juicy, gentle, tender wine, and I would hoover that up with some lamb. I like that a lot. Tasty wine. Let's see whether wine number 4 is a tasty wine. It is De Bortoli's Windy Peak Pinot Noir 2010 from Australia, well, from the state of Victoria. I'm not sure whereabouts in Victoria. De Bortoli's got quite a lot of Pinot Noir in the Yarra Valley, but if it just says Victoria, it may be that they're sourcing fruit from elsewhere. But only one way to find out how good it is, give it a whirl. Well, this also has the allure, and paler in colour than the previous one. I think that they've done a little less extraction of the grapes, but it feels like the fruit concentration, it was there, that was similar in the first place. They both look like they had good grapes, and they've not overworked them. And the result is here it's got this warm, gentle, juicy strawberry. It feels like it's going to be a bit. Well, I better try it. It's not afraid to have its juiciness of fruit, but it's also not afraid to have that little bit of backbone of acidity and tannin. I think in terms of its chill friendliness, I think that the Taboli probably is the more, would fit that I can serve it slightly cooler bill more than the Windy Peak. As for which is the better wine, I've got a feeling that as they warm up, at the cooler temperature, the Taboli is my favourite. At a warmer temperature, I wouldn't be surprised if it swaps over. I think they're both pretty impressive wines, and yes, actually they were all pretty impressive. I wasn't so sure about the Pacifico Sur, but the other three were all really nice in terms of lamb and spring lamb friendliness. Maybe the Clairvoyant and the Taboli, but I did like the Windy Peak. See you soon.